Hey friend, have you ever felt like life just keeps knocking you down? Maybe you didn't get that job you prayed for, a relationship fell apart, or a dream you held on to for years just evaporated. It's crushing, right? You sit there thinking, God, why is this happening? Don't you care? Let me tell you, you're not alone. And today, we're diving into one of the most powerful promises in the Bible to help you rise above those disappointments. Romans 8:28 says, "We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." But what does that actually mean when you're in the middle of pain? Let's break it down. First, this isn't a Hallmark card. Paul, the guy who wrote Romans, wasn't sitting on a beach sipping lemonade when he said this. He'd been shipwrecked, beaten, imprisoned. He knew suffering. Yet he says, all things, the good, the bad, the confusing, are being woven together for your ultimate good, not because life is fair, but because God is faithful. Here's the kicker. God isn't just fixing your messes. He's using them to shape you. Think of it like a mosaic. On the ground, the broken pieces look useless. But when the artist lifts them up, he creates something breathtaking. Your disappointments? They're part of a bigger story. But how do you live that out? Let's get practical. Step 1. Surrender the script. We all want to write our own stories. We'll take the job, the spouse, the happy ending, thanks. But trusting God means handing Him the pen. It's saying, even if I don't understand, I trust your heart. Step 2. Shift your focus. Verse 5 says, "Those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on what the Spirit desires." When disappointment hits, don't camp in why me. Ask, what can I learn? How can I grow closer to God here? Step 3. Lean into community. Verse 26-27 says the Spirit Himself intercedes for us when we're too weak to pray. That's huge! You don't have to have it all together. Reach out to a friend, a small group, or even pause right now and say, God, I'm hurting. Help me see your plan. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Imagine you're building a puzzle. You've got all these pieces scattered around and it feels overwhelming. But what if I told you that each piece, even the ones that seem like they don't fit, are essential to completing the picture? That's how God works in our lives. Every disappointment, every setback, is a piece of a grander puzzle that He's putting together for your good. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned. Yet, in the end, he became a ruler in Egypt and saved many lives, including his family's. Joseph himself said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." What a powerful testament to God's ability to turn our trials into triumphs. So, what can we do when we're in the thick of it? Here's another step. Practice gratitude. It might sound cliché, but gratitude shifts our perspective. Start a journal and jot down 3 things you're thankful for each day. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a kind word from a stranger. Over time, you'll start to see God's hand in the small things, and that builds faith for the bigger challenges. And here's a thought. What if your disappointment is actually a divine redirection? Sometimes God closes doors because He has something better in store. It's like when you're driving and your GPS reroutes you to avoid traffic. Trust that God's rerouting is for your benefit, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Here's my challenge to you. This week, when a disappointment hits, big or small, pause and say, God, I trust you're working even here. Show me the next step. Then watch. Maybe that closed door pushes you toward a better path. Maybe that pain softens your heart to help someone else. Friend, you are not stuck. Your story isn't over. If you're feeling this today, drop a trusting in the comments. Let's encourage each other. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. We're all about finding hope in the chaos, one Bible verse at a time. Remember, the same God who raised Jesus from the dead is working in your life right now. Whatever you're facing, He's got you. Keep walking, keep trusting, and watch what He does next. And as we wrap up, I want you to take a moment to breathe. Close your eyes and imagine God's hands holding your life, every piece of it. As we wrap up our exploration of trusting God's plan amidst life's disappointments, remember that every challenge is an opportunity to shine brighter. Just as Romans assures us of God's purpose, Matthew calls us to be a beacon of hope and light in the world. Join us in our next video now on your screen, as we delve into how you can illuminate the darkness around you and inspire others with your faith. Don't miss it.